Hello. I have here a new board to work on. This is a Q*bert Bootleg. It's in pretty good shape, a little dirty as usual, but it is in good shape. And what I like about this Bootleg is it has all of the circuitry. It has all of everything on here to add the speech, the parts for speech, which I'm going to do. I'm going to populate all of this so that the board is 100% complete Q*bert with speech and all. I think the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the ROMs and I'm going to read them and put them against ROM ident, because I'm kind of curious to see what this Bootleg is running. Is it running regular Q*bert ROMs? I would think it would be, but I don't really know for sure. So I'm just kind of curious. But yeah, that's it. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to get my programmer out and read these ROMs. Okay, I did get the programmer out and I copied all of the ROMs from the Q*bert PCB. And this is what I found here. I came up with. That's what I named them. QB2732 dot and then the location and 2764s and all that. And the check mark is just that I read it and it verified at least twice so that I know I got the right file. And checksums and then down here, like this one right here, it said only verified a couple of times. It's a 2764 and it was really flaky. I couldn't really get it to be consistent with what my programmer would dump from the chip, and that one's just flaky right there. And then I looked them up in ROM ident, and some of them are in MAME. This is actually the sound ROM, and it uses a 2732, and the name of the game that it's from is Tiles in MAME, which is weird. And then I got a couple, these are region as big tiles, I take it. Those were in MAME. And then the only one of the 2764s was in MAME, and it was a main CPU ROM. Now these 2732s right here are all sprites. And then these are the CPU ROMs right here, these three 2764s. So this one was in MAME, so I'm kind of thinking these might all be bit rot. So I may have to, program new ROMs for all of these, which is no big deal. But I think what I will do when I start is I'm going to program the two CPU ROMs so that the program will at least run. If that is the case where these are... See, I don't know for sure if these are... Well, one of these was flaky. So I'm thinking that these are all bit rot and just bad ROMs. So I'm going to burn Q*bert ROMs for the CPU, and I'm going to leave the sprite ROMs alone at first, because the game will run with bad sprite ROMs. It won't run with bad CPU ROMs. So I want to make sure that I have these, and then we'll look at these later on. I might have to burn new sprite ROMs, that's fine. But that's what I've done so far. Hey guys, welcome back to the bench. Today I have a Q*bert Bootleg board. Just finished making my little wiring harness up for it. First thing I did when I got this board was I pulled the ROMs and I ran them against ROM ident. These 5 ROMs right here are Qbert ROMs. This one up here is the 2 Qbert ROMs stacked on top, one on top of the other, basically. These 2 were bad. This was Qbert ROM 2, ROM 1, and ROM 0. Set 1, US Set 1. And these were the Qbert Big Tiles ROM. These here are proprietary to this bootleg board. So I did copy them and I made files of all of these. But these 2 were bad. So I burnt Qbert Set 1, 0, and 1, and Set 1, ROM 1. Put them in the board. I got it turned on right now, and there's no video. It's an absolutely blank screen. But the good news is it does have sound. How cool is that? Let me turn it down. Now it does have all of the spaces for all of the circuitry for the speech. And I have one of these SC01 speech chips. I'm going to populate all of the speech circuitry so that this thing has speech. But first things first is I've got to figure out the no video situation. So that's what I'll do. Really excited about this one. I just love Qbert. I love this game. Okay, I have started doing some probing around on the board, and since I have no video, I was just probing some of the select lines on the ROMs. These are basically all graphics ROMs. These are tiles, and these are sprites, I believe. I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. I know what I can do is I can look at the Qbert schematic, but anyway, just preliminarily I'm looking and probing around for signals, control signals. Pin 18 is the enable on these 2732s. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. It is enabled low, but this is not right. All of these, the enable pin on every one of them is low. That's not right. 18 on these. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. This is the enable pin on these. So these are not being accessed correctly, and that's definitely a place to start, is to trace back what is controlling these. There's some kind of some logic over here or over here. I don't know. I have no schematic for this board, but I'm going to trace back the control lines and see what is dictating what gets accessed. Alright, I just wanted to really quick point this out. I'm looking at the Gottlieb Qbert schematic, and those are the 4 ROMs at the bottom of the board. Now the Gottlieb Qbert board uses 2764s there, but you can see in the bottom right hand corner of each chip that chip enable is held low. So as soon as these things are addressed, they're putting out data. They're dumping data out. So that is correct. The bootleg is following what the Gottlieb board is doing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find on the schematic, I'm going to find the end. I'm going to find where the video is output. I'm going to start there and start working my way backwards. Okay, here is the video output section. I am first interested in that blank line down in the bottom left hand corner of this picture. It looks like an LS86, and that produces the video blanking, and I want to see if the blanking is stuck on. That's where I'm going to start. I'm going to start with that blanking signal, and I'll probe all of these. I'll find these color rams, because I know where the transistors are on the board. They're easy to pick out. So I'm going to trace back to the RAM and find out exactly what RAM are the color RAM on this board, and probe those RAMs, see if I got any data coming out of the RAMs, and I'm going to probe that blanking signal off of the LS86. So that will be a good place to start. Alright, well, I'm back here at the Qbert. I'm probing an LS86. I want to show you the schematic. This is the Qbert schematic, so I had to manually trace all this back on this board, and it is quite amazing. This board appears to be a straight clone of the Qbert schematics. This LS86 in the center of the screen is what I'm probing, and it provides the blanking signal. You can see you follow it off of the collector of this transistor here. It's the blanking signal that blanks all of the color transistors. And pin 1 is tied high, and then the blank signal comes in on pin 2 with the output on pin 3. That's the blanking circuit. So I traced that out on my Qbert board, the bootleg board, to this chip, pins 1, 2, and 3. And here's pins 1, 2, and 3. 1 is tied high, just like in the schematic. The blanking signal is coming in on pin 2, and the output is stuck high. It's an exclusive OR gate, so when both inputs are high, it should go low. And you can see this is running free right now. It is completely stuck high. That's my problem. So I'm going to replace this guy right here, the LS86, and I'm sure that's going to bring it right back. There's the old LS86 out of the board. You can see it's garbage. So I got me a nice new 74 LS86. That'll go right here. And that should fix this board. Okay, I got the new 86 in. And I now have video up on the screen, but it's not syncing. And one thing I've read, I've done some research on these bootleg boards, these Qbert bootleg boards, is that you have to invert the sync. So I'm gonna jump online and research this sync mod. It'll give me locations of where everything is, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that and get the sync flipped. Okay, I just fired up the Qbert. I actually had to run, I just ran positive composite sync up to the monitor, and it's synced, but it's not positioned right, and that I believe is a board problem because I can't adjust it up, and the colors are wrong, as you can see. But at least it is doing something. And you can see it's got this down here. It's just something's a little funky. There's some little funkiness going on. Colors and position. So that's something I'll have to just kind of figure out. What is going on with these colors? I think first thing I'll do is figure out the colors, because that should be easy. I think the color circuitry is about the same as the Gottlieb version of Qbert, so I'll look at those schematics and figure how they work and that kind of thing, and go from there. Alrighty. Well, the good news is it's stable on the screen. It's not in the right position either vertically or horizontally. It's just not in the right position, which could be I don't know. It could be a counter problem. It seems like you would see like stuff up here. Yeah, we'll figure it out. It's in the horizontal vertical positioning somehow. It's just not quite right. Okay. I'm revisiting the Bootleg Qbert PCB. It has been half a year maybe since I've messed with this at all. I basically just remembered that I had it, so decided to put it back on the setup and see what was going on with it. I checked out my last portion of video that I was making to kind of see where I would left off, and it was all about sync. I couldn't get it to sync. So I had gone ahead and did some sync mod that I found online, and it was piggybacking a chip here, piggybacking a chip here, and just a bunch of jumper wires. One jumper wire to this guy right here. One of these legs was, out of the socket and pulled out. Well, I just went ahead and I hooked the board up with that mod all on it and everything. And it came up kind of goofy. It was not really synced right. So I was like, you know what? I if you've watched any of my stuff, I don't like mods. I don't like stuff. For the most part, I don't like stuff that is brought up by just other people trying to improve boards. I think that they're good from the factory, the way that they made them. So I removed all that. I just tore all that mod stuff out, and I re-verified my setup how I had it, and I noticed that I had my sync going to the wrong pin on my setup, and I fixed that, and this thing is synced perfect. Now, it does have color issues. Qbert's blue, so some of the colors aren't right, but that's not a big deal. That should be an easy fix to fix colors. But I don't have a sync problem. And I'm going to have to pull Qbert up on MAME to see exactly what the correct colors are, because I don't really quite remember. And then another question is, did the bootleg have these colors? Was Qbert blue in the bootleg version of this board? I don't know. So that's something I'll have to look into. Yeah, so. And the sound works good. I got this thing here. And go. Yep. Another thing I want to do is I want to populate all this. I want to populate all of this area up here so that the speech can work. You know, Qbert goes, or whatever he does, you know. And I like the little guys that come out on down here, and they're like, whatever they do. But yeah, Qbert's cool. So that's the plan. Research the colors. Are the colors right on this? I don't know. Probably not. I would imagine it's a pretty much a schematic clone. So I would say that this is pretty much supposed to be a one-for-one clone of Gottlieb's schematic. So it should be the same color. That would be my guess. But I'll tell you what, I think I would rather have this board rather than the Gottlieb board, because this is all on one board. There's no soundboard. There's no, you know, junk like that. Your amplification, your sound system's all right up in here. I mean, this is pretty nice. So, yep. Let me do that. I'm gonna pull MAME up and see what the colors look like in MAME. Qbert bootleg. I'm sure it's not like this. So, but let's check it out. All right, well, I decided to re-look at the pinouts. This is Qbert bootleg, and starting at 16, it's red, blue, green. 16, 17, 18, component side. Red, blue, green. From 16 to 18. Red, blue, green. So, starting from 16 to 18, it's supposed to be red, blue, green. I have the blue and the red flipped. So instead of redoing this, I'm going to do it right here, and I'm going to swap the red and the blue right here. And that should straighten these colors right up. Because I was poking around, I got the scope going, and I was just kind of poking around, and I probed everything on these color rams, and everything looked great. I can't find anything wrong, so I was like, you know what? Let me check my work. Let me check my harness. And sure enough, I got the red and the blue flip-flopped. So let me go ahead and take care of that. I'll flip those around, and that should fix this color issue. And there you have it. Now the colors are correct. So it wasn't a board problem, it was a harness problem. It was a me problem. But this thing's synced up great. Colors are great. We got ourselves a good working Qbert bootleg board. Really cool. Sounds work good. Yeah, excellent. I do want to, with this board, I do want to complete the speech section and have this be a complete Qbert board with speech and all. So maybe I'll make a totally separate video of that. But as for getting this thing repaired, good to go, and knowing that it's 100%, I think we'll call this one good right here. So I think it was just ROMs. It had a couple bad ROMs. I don't really remember, to be honest with you. What I am going to do, I think I already did do, but I'm going to make sure, is these ROMs need to be copied. They need to be archived. These guys right here. These ones right here are Gottlieb Qbert ROMs. These are not. So, you know, these are unique to the bootleg. Yep. So I'll make sure I have those saved. So if anyone ever watches this video and needs Qbert bootleg ROMs, I've got them. So just let me know. All right. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for watching. And I'll see you on the next one. This one was a long time coming. I put this one aside because the sync issue kind of got me frustrated a little bit, and I was like, I'm just going to put this one aside. And then I had my move where I moved everything, and this one must have been 8 months ago that I was messing with it. And it turned it just kind of turned out to be my setup. My sync part of my setup was wrong, and the color. So not much wrong with it, just some bad ROMs. I think that's all it was. No, it had a bad chip right here too. Now I remember that. But that's it. All right, guys. See you on the next. Qbert. And you know, Arcade Shop does sell a reproduction Qbert cabinet. Ideas, ideas. See you next time. Hey guys, I have my bootleg Qbert board here. And as I wasn't, to be honest with you, I kind of abandoned the idea of doing the speech thing, but it seems like more than a few people are interested in seeing that, so I'm gonna go ahead and do it. So I don't know, we'll see. I'm gonna also put in this transistor that's for the knocker, and it's a common, it's just a 6044, so I'm going to put that in there too, and that's actually works the knocker, I believe. So yep, I have emptied out, I have got the desoldering gun out, and I desoldered all of the spots, that need to be cleared out. Yep. Up here. So that is, these are the spots that I need to Populate. So I can do most of the capacitors. I can do the resistors now. These transistors I can do those. I think I have one 10K pot, and it looks like I need 2. So I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead, and I got a lot of the chips I got. I'm gonna put a socket in here, even if I don't use this spot. I still gonna put a socket there. Why not? And I'm gonna put a socket for this chip, the speech chip, and the rest of them, the common stuff's just going right into the board. So I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna go ahead and do what I can do, what I have, and then I'll be back. Okay, I have done what I can with what I have. So I have put in the socket for the speech chip. I still need a 300 picofarad capacitor. I need this 3-volt Zener diode. I need some 1K resistors. I need a socket for here. And I need a couple 10K pots. That's about it. It's about all I need. I put the transistor for the knocker in. Interesting. So yeah, I don't have 10K resistor or 1K resistors for some reason. I ran out of those, so I'll buy some of those. I'm gonna buy some pots that fit in here nicely. I'm gonna look for this kind of pot. I'm going to go ahead and plug this thing in and make sure it still works. I'm sure it will. But yeah, I've got quite a bit of it in. Got this guy in there.
At the end of this, 3 of you will be leaving the competition. Wow, 15 minutes.
6044. This is the 07. It's a Hewlett-Packard part with a weird number, but it's a 7407. Yeah. Okay. And this guy right here. It's kind of hard to see. It's a DAC 08 or 1408. You see that marking on there. It's hard to see it, but yeah. Yep. Yeah. All right. Let's plug this thing back in. Make sure nothing pops or anything. Okay, we're hooked back up, and you can see it working good so far. I'm going to test the sounds, see what's happening with the sound, but it looks absolutely awesome. Okay, let's go ahead and clean this thing up, which is 1, 2, 3. Okay, it didn't mess anything up. That's good. All right, cool. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to order some more parts, and I know my friend Todd has this chip, so I'm gonna order some stuff and get some stuff in here, a couple more parts. And I also want to look and see if this 377 is involved. I need to look at the schematic. I don't think it is. Yeah. Okay. Yep. I just got to buy some more parts. Not much. I'm almost done. Okay. Alrighty, I'll check back in with everybody once I get some parts in the mail. I'm gonna have to jump on eBay and buy some stuff, so once I get that stuff, I'll check back with ya. Alright guys, I'm getting set up here. I'm gonna be working on the Cubert bootleg board a little bit. I was just putting parts in it, you know, getting set up here. So a little something different. I got me a little stand for my camera this time, so I don't have to hold it while I'm doing what I'm doing, which is kind of nice. If you want to see kind of the more mundane type stuff of just going through and doing everything. I still don't have the pots that I'm waiting on for this, but I do got the 300 picofarad cap and the 4 1K resistors, and that about completes this. I'm going to put this socket in too. I'm still waiting on the 3-volt Zener diode. Like I said, there's still some parts that I'm waiting on. And I'm trying a new lead-free solder. I don't know if you've got that in the... It's a lead-free solder I'm going to try. Why not? Why not, right? Alright, I had to clear out some memory on the phone, and I am now going to about some sockets. So I got me some sockets I can put in the board now. Okay. I got those resistors put in. The phone kind of cut out on me when I was recording. I needed to free up some, and I have to adjust the quality down because it's just using too much space, and my phone's not. It doesn't have unlimited space or anything like that. So, but with it being just kind of set like that, it should be a lot better. I'm putting this socket in the board just because I want to. I'm not going to use it unless I wanted to use original Cubert ROMs, but then I think I would have to strap the board different. I'm just putting the socket in there basically for looks, to be honest. So. I did give this board a really good washing too. So now all I'm waiting on is I need 2 pots. I got 2 10K pots. The speech chip itself, which my friend Todd has. I need this 3-volt Zener diode. I think that's it. I think that's it. Yeah, I believe that's the end of it. Is that Zener diode. Zener diode, and then just put the chip in it. Yeah, this is drying off now. It's drying off, and I mean, it looks awesome. Nice and clean. Always look around, make sure you didn't drop any solder blobs anywhere. They stick out like a sore thumb if you did. Excellent. Okay. Next thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to wait for that diode to come in, and then I'll get up with my friend Todd, and I'll get one of these chips. And that'll be it. This thing will be ready to rock and roll. This is a freaking awesome board right here. I put this board on eBay because I bought this on eBay with the intention of just turning it around, fixing it and turning it around. I put it on eBay. Once I got it fixed and running right, I put it on eBay for $275. And I had 2 guys message me questions about it, and I decided to take it down. I took it down off of it and decided to complete the speech. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do with this board. If I'm going to keep it, if I'm going to sell it, because I can get a lot of money out of this board. It's a nice board, especially if it's got the speech and everything. Like I said, I'd rather have this than the Gottlieb one. It's more reliable, I think. So, I don't know. Anyway, okay, yeah. I'll get back with you when I get that part. We'll get that part put in, and hopefully in the meantime, it's Friday today. So hopefully over this weekend I can get up with Todd and grab one of these chips. And I'll be ready to test this sound out, and hopefully we get our speech. The 2 pots. 10K pots. I'm still waiting on those two. So it's the pots and the diode. All right, cool guys. I got the 3-volt Zener diode in the mail, and Todd stopped over and picked up a board, and he left me a speech chip. So I'm going to solder in this Zener diode. I need to pull this 6532 processor. I need to pull that out of that fluke pod. I'm going to have to keep my eyes open for a real 6502 fluke pod. So this one just doesn't, it's not cutting it. It's good for RAM. I don't have a problem with doing RAM checks with it. But ROM checks, it does not do ROM checks good, which is weird. But it is what it is. Come on. But I am out. I only have this one good 6532 processor. So I have to keep taking it out of this fluke pod and putting it into this Qbert board. I actually bought about 10 of them from China for dirt cheap. So once they get here, it'll be nice. I can't see squat. Okay. But we'll take a look at it now. You'll be able to see this thing is all done. As far as all the parts. So we'll go ahead and hook it up and see if we got speech. Hey guys, welcome. Revisiting this Qbert. I got all the parts that I needed to do the sound or the speech, adding in the speech, and I want to kind of show you what I've been up to. Oops. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start one. I want up, right. Hear that? Upright. Yeah. Up left. 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. It's not perfect. I got to dial it in a little bit. Let me go into test mode.
Hello, 93000.
Hear that? That I'm turned on when it comes on. What? Listen.
Hello, 93000.
Hello, I'm turned on. Come on.
Hello, 93000.
Some of them aren't great, and it's just an adjustment a little bit. Yeah, see, I messed with that.
Hello, 93000. Hello, 93000. Hello, 93000.
It's just frequency. One of these pots messes with the frequency, and if it's not perfect, it's not right. For all intents and purposes,
Hello, 93000.
I think it's pretty good. Yep. So here's the section. This is the chip. That's the speech chip. And I just had gone over everything here. This is the frequency pot right here. And these are the two volume pots. So yeah. Pretty cool. I'm gonna call it good. Just needs a little fine tweaking. But yeah, there's speech on this bootleg board now. Pretty cool. Alright guys, that's a nice little easy addendum to this Q*bert. This thing is good to go now. I'm going to call it good. Now it is really good to go. So, sweet. See you on the next one.
Hello, I turned on.
Getting ready to do a little gameplay of Q*bert. I wired in an Atari controller, Atari 2600. So let's go ahead and turn it on.
Hello, I turned on.
And I will still have to ground the coin, stuff like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I forget what it is. Coin is on the solder side. 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright. Cool. Still, sounds still need to be adjusted even more. I can see the sounds still need adjusting. Alright, I'm going to do a little bit of adjusting, see if I can dial in the sound a little bit better. Alright, I think I have this thing dialed in pretty darn good now. I'm going to go ahead and start it. We'll play a game and I'll show you. Okay. I turned the sound up on the speech. I just had to adjust that frequency pot a little bit. This is as high as I can go on the frequency. I know that the frequency is a little off, but if I tweak it any more, it just flakes it out. This is as high as I can go on it. Yeah, this is as high as I can go on the frequency, but it sounds good. I'm going to turn the volume back down slightly on that speech. It's too low. That's good. Yeah, that's as good as it's going to get right there. So right here is as good as that's going to get with this. So I'm going to hot glue that frequency pot right there. So I know that the frequency is a little off. It's a little slow. But like I said, if I tweak it up any more than this, it tins out. It just goes tinny and doesn't sound good. So this is where it's going to be. But it has speech and it works. And it sounds good to me. So it's a little off. Little slow, but it's not bad. So yeah. All right, guys. That was just a little addendum to this guy. I'm going to go ahead and that frequency pot for the speech, I'm going to hot glue it right here. All right. We'll see you. See you later. See you on the next video.